With the release of Wave 6, the Booster Course Pass is officially complete, and it's fair to assume that there are going to be no more changes made to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It goes without saying that in the last 6.5 years, and primarily in the last 8 months, this game has seen a lot of changes. So in this video, I'm going to break down the official Mario Kart 8 Deluxe meta. Now, if you don't rock with the best combo in the game, don't even worry about it, because later in the video, I'll break down some viable alternative combos that will help you perform just as well online. Speaking of performing well online, I'll also break down if bagging is officially dead. So with that said, without further ado, let's start giving her, bud. Now, before I talk about the best combo in the game, let's break down the history of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe meta. For nearly 6 years, no major stat changes were made. During this period of time, the best combo in the game was Waluigi, Wild Wiggler, Roller Tires, Paper Glider. What made this combo stand out from the rest is that it had the best mix of speed and mini turbo. Now, as you can see, there's no mini turbo stat here. It's a hidden stat in this game. That's kind of a big deal when mini turbo is the most important stat in the game. That's why the rollers, also known as the slowest tires in the game, are the best tires in the game because they maximize mini turbo the most. Combine that with a fast character in Waluigi and a frame that's below average in speed in the Wild Wiggler, you have what was the most optimal combo in the game. When the Booster Course Pass first got announced, we all assumed that we were only getting the 48 tracks and that's it. Now, obviously, 48 tracks is a lot of content, but no one could have expected Nintendo to make such wild changes to the game. They didn't change too much in Waves 1 and 2, but in Wave 3, they started cooking a wee bit. The release of Wave 3 introduced the invincibility stat. The higher your invincibility stat is, the longer you're invulnerable after getting hit by an item. Nintendo purposely implemented this as a means of getting rid of Waluigi Wiggler, because as far as I can remember, Waluigi Wiggler had the worst invincibility stat in the game, or at least bad enough to the point where people at least considered switching. However, it was never enough. Waluigi Wiggler remained the meta for the entirety of Wave 3. But then, Wave 4 came out, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe changed forever. Pretty much every character, every frame, and every set of tires got buffed, except for the best kart parts in the game. This changed everything, and Waluigi Wiggler was no longer viable in the slightest. Once the new meta was established, Nintendo made some more subtle changes in Wave 5, but it was never enough to change the meta. And in Wave 6, while a massive change was made to a particular part of the meta, combo-wise, only invincibility was altered. In other words, the Wave 4 meta is here to stay for the remainder of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So let's break down exactly what this meta is. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the best combo in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. For characters, you can use Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, Birdo, or Peachette. For the cart, you can use either the Teddy Buggy or the Cat Cruiser. For the tires, you can use either the Rollers or Azure Rollers. And for the gliders, you can use the Cloud, Parachute, Flower, or Paper Glider. Now, similar to Waluigi Wiggler, this is the best combo in the game because it has the best mix of speed and mini turbo. However, these two combos are obviously very different. The reason why Yoshi is the best character in the game is because somehow he has the second highest mini turbo stat in the game. And the only characters that have a higher mini turbo stat than Yoshi have an all-around speed stat of either 1 or 2, relative to their mini turbo stat of 5. Yoshi has an all-around speed stat of 6, relative to his mini turbo stat of 4. That is absolutely insane. Combine that with the Teddy Buggy, which has solid all-around stats and has the second highest mini turbo stat in the game, and of course, the roller tires, and you have, bar none, the best combo in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Also, if you prefer inside drifting bikes, then this new meta is just for you, because the Comet and the Yoshi bike have the exact same stats as the Teddy Buggy. This means that you can use inside drifting bikes without any major stat disadvantages. But yeah, guys, it goes without saying that until we get a new Mario Kart, Yoshi Teddy Bear is here to stay. Now, if you don't like that, I do have some alternatives for you. And yes, I'm going to be as specific as ever, just to rub it into all the people who are about to comment,
"Well, I use this combo and I always get first place online."
Yeah, because everyone you're playing against sucks. Look, if you want to play against the best of the best, you gotta be using the best combos in the game. I'm sorry, but that's just reality. Anyways, let's break it down. Character-wise, the best alternative character class you can choose from includes Tanuki Mario, Inkling Boy, and Villager. These characters have the exact same speed and mini turbo mix as Yoshi. The only differences are that Tanuki Mario is slightly superior in weight, and Yoshi is slightly superior in traction. Most people value traction over weight, but if that's not you, then these three characters are the way to go. Now, if you want to go for a bit more speed and wait at the slight expense of mini turbo, then feel free to use either Mario, Ludwig, Medium Me, Luigi, Iggy, or Kamek. Mario is slightly superior in traction, whereas Luigi is slightly superior in handling. In other words, these two character classes are basically identical. The main idea is that you'll get a speed stat of 7 and a mini turbo stat of 3 compared to Yoshi's 6 and 4 respectively. So if you want to go for slightly more speed without sacrificing too much mini turbo, then these 6 characters are the way to go. Now in regards to the frames, you have quite a few options here. Starting with the Ink Striker, you could also use either the Mach 8 or the Sports Coupe. Now while this does have a mini turbo stat of 5, it does have very good speed stats, namely the highest speed stats in air and anti-gravity, and its ground and water speed stats aren't too bad either. So if you want to prioritize speed, use the Ink Striker. I would suggest using Yoshi if you're going to use this combo. However, if you really want to maximize speed, you could go all the way and use either Mario or Luigi. Next up, we got the Bitty Buggy or Mr. Scooty. These frames have practically no speed. However, they do have a mini turbo stat of 7. No other frame has this much mini turbo. If you want to go crazy in the mini turbo department, I would suggest using Yoshi, as this combo actually holds most world records in this game. However, if you're using a character with more speed and less mini turbo than Yoshi, then either of these two frames are viable options to compensate for the lack of mini turbo. Finally, we have the frame classes of the Streetle and Pipe Frame. These two classes have the same mini turbo stat as the Teddy Bear, but with some key differences in the other stats. In the case of the Streetle, it has the best water speed stat out of all the carts. It also has a really high traction stat, but it also has a weight stat and an anti-gravity speed stat of 0. I would say the Pipe Frame is definitely more well-rounded, but it also doesn't have many significant advantages. However, it is still very much comparable to the likes of the Teddy Bear, so if you really like the Pipe Frame, you can use it online and perform just as well. Lastly, let's talk about the GLA tires. If you combine the GLA tires with either Mario or Luigi on the Teddy Bear, you'll get a combo that is basically Waluigi Wiggler, but better. While it may be slightly lacking in mini turbo, it has an insane invincibility stat. And even though this isn't the most important stat in the game, if you really value how long you're invincible after getting hit by an item, then these tires by all means are a very good option. However, at the end of the day, these alternative combos are merely contenders. It is still very clear that the best combo in the game is Yoshi Teddy Bear Rollers. If you use any of these alternative cart parts, you won't be losing a lot by any means, but you're not using what is very clearly the best combo in the game. That's all I have to say regarding the best combos in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. However, upon the release of Wave 6, a massive change was made to this game. Or at least that's what we thought. Nintendo tried to get rid of bagging, but ultimately, it's not actually dead. You just have to be a lot more tactical about how you bag. For instance, you can't just sit at an item set. You can only get 2 boxes and then it's go time. However, those 2 items could very well be your ticket to coming back. The main idea is that bagging is still here to stay. You're just gonna have to go about it a little bit differently if you choose to bag online. I would definitely say that front running is more viable than before because baggers aren't going to get as many opportunities to cycle through power items. However, on hard bagging tracks like Dry Desert, playing from behind will definitely still be the way to go. Look, I wish bagging was completely unviable as well. However, it's here to stay, and there is no point in complaining about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd really appreciate if you'd leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the official Mario Kart 8 Deluxe meta. Also, let me know how you feel about bagging still being a viable strategy in this game. Like I said, I wish that weren't the case, but what are you gonna do? At least the best combos in the game are pretty sick. At least in my opinion. I mean, the tech that you can pull off with Yoshi Teddy Bear is pretty awesome. So I'm pretty happy that this is the official meta of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. With that said, guys, until next time, thank you all so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and keep on giving her, bud.